Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new video. This is Happy Beyond Numbers. Now, this is BECE question 1b of 2023. It's a question that involves fraction, and as you can see, it says you have to simplify one whole number 3 over 4 minus 2 whole number 5 over 6 minus 1 whole number 9 over 10, then plus 4 whole number 7 over 8. This question is trying to test your understanding on addition and subtraction of integers, and then it also wants to know how best you understand your fraction or fractional operations. So without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So this is what we have over here. Now, the first thing you need to take note is that these are all what mixed numbers or mixed fractions. You see, so you'd have to change each and every fraction to its improper form. And how do you do that? If you have a fraction a whole number b over c, what you do is you multiply a by what the c, then you add the b. That is, multiply the whole number by the denominator and add the numerator. Let's look at how we are going to do that. So we have 1 times 4, which is 4, then plus 3, and that gives us what? A 7. So this whole fraction becomes 7 over this denominator we have over here, so over 4. Then we come to minus 2 times 6. 2 times it gives us 12. Then we add this numerator, which is 5. So now we have 17 over what? 6. Then 1 times 10, we have 10 plus 9. That also gives us what? 19. 1 times 10, that gives us 10. Then plus 9, that gives us 19. So 19 over 10. Then plus 4 times 8, and then plus 7. That is a 39. So 39 over 8. So basically, that is how we change these fractions, which are mixed fractions, into improper form. After this, we now work it as what? Normal addition and subtraction of what? Fractions. How do we do that? We look for the LCM of 4, 6, 10, and then 8. There are so many ways you can do that, you see. And I do hope that you know what the LCM is, but for the sake of examination, when you are faced with pressure, how quick can you solve this? Let's quickly look at how to use the LCM method or the prime factorization to look for the LCM of these over here. Using the method of prime factorization, what you do is you write 4 as a product of prime. That is 2 raised to the power 2. You see, then you write your 6 also as a product of prime. That is 2 times 3. Then your 10 also as a product of prime. Okay, and that is 2 times 5. And then finally our 8. That is 2 to the power 3. So since we've been able to write all of this, our LCM, let's look at the numbers that did occur. So 2 occurred over here, you see. Then there is also a 3, and there is also a 5, you see. But the LCM is determined by their highest occurrence. So for 2, its highest occurrence here is 3, because we have 3, then we have, this, since there's nothing, is 1. This is also 1, and this is 2. So the highest occurrence of 2 is what? 3. Then the highest occurrence of 3 is also 1, just 1. So 1. And the highest occurrence of 5 is also 1. So to get to the LCM now, we evaluate what we have over here. 2 raised to the power 3 gives us an 8. Then times 3 raised to the power 1, that is a 3. Then times 5 to the power 1, which is a 5. You see. So with that now, we'll have our 8 times 3 times 5, which gives us a 120. You see. So this here is our LCM. You should note that it is not always that if you multiply these numbers, they'll give you your LCM. You see. For instance, if we were to multiply all of this, that is 4 times 6 times 10 times 8, would have gotten a 1920, which is definitely not our LCM. And working with that will be very, very tedious. You get it? So this is how we determine LCM using the product of prime method. So since we now have our LCM to be 120, let's go on with our solution. So with our LCM as 120, I'm going to write that here 120, you see. And then you are coming to look for how many times the denominators will enter into 120 or will divide 120. So first of all, we have 120 divided by 4. You see, 120 divided by 4 gives us a 30. So 30 times the 7, and that is a 210. So you have 210, then minus. So you put a minus over here. Now 6 into 120, 20 times. You see, so we have 20 times 17. That gives us a 340. Then we come to this minus. So minus 10 into 120, 12 times. So 12 times 9 also gives us a 228. Then our plus. So plus 120. That is 8 dividing 120. We are going to get a 15. And then a 15 times 39 now gives us a 585. You see. So with all this written, we now do our evaluation. So we now evaluate the numerator. You see. So evaluating the numerator, to make things simple, you know we have a positive number over here, right? So this is positive 210, a negative 340, negative 228, positive 585. So let's do a rearrangement, you see, so that we can add all the positive and then work on the negatives as well. So this here, that is a positive 210 plus all of this. So plus 585. So 585. Then minus, there's minus over here. So minus 340 minus 228. Now, what I want you to take note is that as we are moving each number, we are doing so with the sign in front of it. If you do anything otherwise, it becomes wrong. Okay. So we now start with our operations. So working on the positive, we have 210 plus 585, and that gives us a 795. You see, you can take your time and work that out. Then this, because they are all negative, you can say minus, then into bracket 340 plus 228. All we've done here is to factorize the negative out. You see, so with the negative out, we can now say we are then adding these two numbers. You see, so adding the two numbers, we are going to have 795, you see, then minus 340 plus 228 to give us 568 all over our 120. So over our 120. And if you evaluate 790 minus 568, what are you going to get? You'll be getting a 227 over your 120, you see. And this is what we have as our final answer. Now with this as our final answer, we can then choose to rewrite it as a mixed fraction, you see. So as a mixed fraction, we ask ourselves 120 divides 228 how many times? It divides it once, you see. So if you divide it once, you then subtract that 120 from 227 and you have 107. So 107 over 120. So we see our final answer is one whole number, 107 all over 120. As simple as that. So I'll leave you with some questions as usual, just to test your understanding. All right. So we have these three simple questions over here, which all has to do with fractions, right? So you have to simplify each and every one of them. This Hub Beyond Numbers where we learn maths the easy way. If this video has been helpful unto you, you can also choose to subscribe. That is if you so do wish, so that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well. See you in our next session where we look at the next question. Bye for now and then stay blessed.